Shemai, happy Saturday everybody. I'm back today with a bit of a stash busting Saturday. Now I'm using some very old papers from a 6x6 pack that I bought many years ago, and the colours in here are lovely. So I thought they suited this photo of my nephew really well. My nephew's really into horse riding, so I'm doing a bit of a boy sort of theme layout, and the challenge that I'm following at the moment is on the Stash Busting Facebook group, their February cyber crop, and the challenge is a layout without any hearts or flowers. So here goes. I've got a bit of an idea of what I'm going to do, but we'll see whether it works out the same. I'm thinking of photo and layering on this side with a big title. The title I'm going for is Believe with all your heart, dream with all your mind, and achieve with all your strength. And I'm planning then on bashing a few alphabets as well. So what I've done is, this is quite a handy thing to do, is that I've gone through the alphabet I want to use, and I have made sure that I've got the letters for the main words in the quote. You see this E here, I don't know whether you can see, but that's an F, and I've cut off a little bit of an L to make it into an E. I saw that trick with Crafty Jen, Use It or Lose It. So I'm using those. I've also found these letters by Prima, which I've had for years, and I thought the colours went really well then for the rest of the quote. I've also got just some random little word stickers, and I think I'm going to go for this one here. It takes a lot of courage to show your dreams to someone else. And also some of these little Tim Holtz tags. And so I'm just going to bash a bit of ephemera that I found. And this is actually one of my handmade embellishment clusters, and I've got a video on this. It went live yesterday. So there we go. I'm also going to use some of these metallic gilding polishes by Cosmic Shimmer, and I've gone for the colours citrus green, electric blue, and copper shine. The other thing I'm doing, which I very rarely do, is that I have embossed a piece of brown cardstock using an embossing folder by Stampin' Up to give it like a bit of a wood grain effect. What I'm trying to do is trying to challenge myself to use, say, my card making products in my scrapbooking and vice versa, just to try to get as much out of my stack of items as I possibly can. These are fab to use because at the top they've got a little applicator. You see I haven't used this one yet. It's a bit like a really thick paint. So what you sort of got to do is get it moving onto your sponge. Can you see I've made like a little bit of a ridge coming up to the top, just to make sure it's all over, and it goes on really smoothly. So what I'm planning on doing is just to have a few stripes of it across here. Then I go into layer my photo up using my pattern papers, and then the quote on the other side. So here we go. As you can see, he's got a real sort of shimmer to it as well. They are lovely. And then once they're dried, you can even stamp on them. So you could use your black ink and stamp any sort of designs on there as well. I don't know whether, I've never washed these applicators and they work perfectly well, but I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing there. So here we go, I'm going for the green now. So you've got to sort of turn them and pop them out. Need all my strength for this one. So we are, so just move it again to make sure that it forms a little bit of a mound, and then you can evenly apply it to your applicator. There we go. I just wanted to have a little bit more pattern on this side, and also I'm trying to use more of my mixed media things. Again, this is another one I haven't used yet. Oops. Just work it around a bit until you cover it on your sponge. This one feels a little bit thicker than the others. Just work it up a bit. So I wanted to pick out the main colours in the photo and also some of the main colours in the paper. So that doesn't actually take that long to dry, as I've got it all over my hands for change. I'm just going to get a wet wipe. I've usually got about 1,000,000 wet wipes on my desk, just not today. As I say, they don't take long to dry. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to set it aside and I'm just going to work then on layering up my photo on the different pattern papers. I had more on me than I thought. Okay. Once again, I'm using Basil Marshmallow because it takes mixed media really well. So I'm putting that to one side. So I say I want this on there. I don't want all of it. And I want to sort of, there we go. Just going to try and sort of layer them up a little bit. And I'm going to rough the edges up. And for a change, I've actually managed to find the little gizmo that makes it much easier. So I'm pretty sure in the last video, I couldn't find it and I was using the edge of a scissors. And I always find that a little bit of a scary way to do it in case I cut myself. So there we are, just roughing the edges up because I always think it adds a bit more texture to it. Just rip them a bit. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to crack on with this and I'll be back in a second. Right, so I'm back. So what I've done, I've laid the photo up and as you can see, I've got more on this side as if he's jumping out of the photo, if that makes sense. And I'm going to stick it this side so he's travelling, like the momentum of him is travelling across the page. And it'll draw your eye then to the quote that's going down the left hand side. So what I did then also is I've laid the colours up again. These are completely dry now. And the good thing about them as well is that you can add them on, as you can see, they're slightly touching and it doesn't change the colour of them either. So there's my mixed media. I've got some down there, but I think that just adds to the page. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. So I'm going to use now some Heidi Swap Colour Shine. And I'm just going to have a few blobs around the page. Because it looked a bit too white with all the colour sticking to the one side. I've shaken these for ages and ages off screen. And then I've got navy then. There we go. So what I'm going to do then, that's going there. I'm going to put this in this corner because I've got a bit of a blank space there. I'm going to put that there like that. I'm going to use my little quotes then, my little tags, and then as I say, the main focus is going to be the quote going down the side. I'm going to use my T-ruler to make sure that I've got it fairly straight. There we are. So I'm just going to wipe up some of the blobs. So if you are looking to try a bit more mixed media on your page, I would really recommend Missy Widden on Facebook, Audrey Yeager, and also my friend Vicky Parker also does some beautiful mixed media things on their pages. So take a look at them and it'll inspire you to use some of your mixed media items if you're a little bit stuck to be honest, a lot of it is trial and error, but you get some great tips off people as well. So I'm going to put this here. There he is. And then, as I say, this is an embellishment cluster that I've made recently on one of my videos. Bashing lots of stash again, as I've said before, my New Year's resolution is to use what I've got rather than buying more. So that's another bunch of die cuts that I used up. So I'm just going to lift this up on foam pads. And as I say, because I've got a bit of a blank area in my photo there, that's where I'm going to put it. There we are. And it says, believe you can, seriously, dream big. And I think this is really apt at the moment because it's his GCSE year in school. We want him to work his socks off. So what I've done now, I'm going to have to apply, some of these letters stick better than others, so I'm going to use some glue then to the back. There we go. I haven't got a very straight eye at all, so whatever helps me put things down straight is an absolute godsend. I'm going to carry on with my title and I'll be back in a minute. So there's my title completed. Dream with all your mind, believe with all your heart, achieve with all your strength. The quote that I read says believe with all your heart first, but because I had the words for dream and achieve in the same letters, I changed it slightly. A bit of poetic license there. So I'm now just going to add the last few things on, like this, which says it takes a lot of courage to show your dreams to somebody else. I think I'll put that just up here, and then I'll just scatter these in across here, and that's another layout done. And there's another pile of stash busted. It is really satisfying to start making a dent in the stash that I've got. And I think it's quite exciting to remind yourself of the old products there, but to use them with a bit of a modern twist, really. There we go. I'm just going to put that over here and just put a bit of journaling on that then. And it's so much easier when you have some scrapbook embellishment clusters just ready to rock, because then that saves quite a bit of time. There we go. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you a photo then at the end of with the journaling in place as well. I'm going to find the date for this, but that's done. So I've used 3 pieces of 6x6 paper, a bit of brown cardstock, busted a few letters. I've made a dent in these canvas letters here from Prima. Use some of my mixed media, and there's another page finished, ready for the album. Thank you so much for watching. Please join me tomorrow for my Stamping Sunday, and then I'll be back then on Tuesday with my 10-minute Tuesday video, and then on Friday is my free-for-all Friday. And thank you so much for subscribing. I've now hit over 250. Yay! exciting times. If you haven't subscribed yet, but you'd like to, I would dearly love you to hit the subscribe button just below. And if you'd like to see what else I'm getting up to, if you hit that little notification bell, ding, then it'll tell you of my next video. Thank you all so much for joining me. Hwyl fawr, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.